Okay, so today we're going to have a little look at the Arturia JUP-8000 V. I've been playing around with this quite a bit recently, made a couple of sound banks. If you're looking for sound banks, be sure to check out the link below. But today I just want to have a little bit of a play around with it, design some sort of sounds, have a little play with some of the modulation sources and effects and stuff like that, and sort of see what we can kind of come out with. Okay, so what I've got here is just one of the ARP MIDIs from the website. I'll leave a link below for that as well if you want to check that out if you're looking for some ARP inspiration, but it's just this basic pattern here, this arpeggiated pattern. I'm just going to initiate this preset. So I've got the initiated preset here. Let's turn up the mix of this and a bit more detune. As I say, with this, there's no sort of goal in mind, just kind of have a little bit of a play around and sort of see what comes out. Bring this filter down. Bring the resonance up a little bit. So if we get any sort of movement going with that filter, we can hear it. Let's bring the filter envelope up to make it sound a little bit more plucky. Right, okay, cool. Shall we add another oscillator 2 in there? What we could do, so we've got this heavily detuned version, and then we could have a saw that's not detuned, and we could add some movement between there. Let's just leave that like that for the moment. Right, let's add some effects in here. So let's go down to effects. Let's add some delay to start off with. So they've got some different presets and stuff in here. Ping pong's nice. This already sounds really trancey. Let's add some reverb. Let's go with a hall. Right. Okay, cool. Right, okay, so let's add some modulation to this, shall we? Let's have a little play around with the filter cutoff first and foremost. So just going to click on the function here. You've got lots of different functions. Your envelope function here will give you lots of different sort of sources. Here you've got step sequences to change the pattern. You can draw them in, etc., etc. Let's have a little play around. And what we just want to do is drag this to maybe the cutoff. Let's have a little listen. Way too fast, so let me slow that right down. And I'm going to change it to run mode, so it's not getting re-trigged every time a note hits. So bring this up a little bit. We also have the LFO here as well, which we can use the filter LFO here. So change the rate, so this will kind of like go up and down as well using this LFO. And it's doing it with this sort of triangle shape here. Slow it down a bit. Let's also bring this resonance down a bit. It's a bit too much. Let's tighten up the envelope a little bit. Slow this down even more, I think. Change the sequence. I can draw it in a little bit more specific with this one. Well, I could with the other one, but I don't want as much changes happening, I don't think, with the filter. It's a bit too much. So you can see this now is changing the filter cutoff in this sort of like step mode. That sounds nice. Right, let's do that thing that I was going to say before. Let's try it. Should we use the random? Let's use the random. So and come over to the random here and map this to the mix. So what we're going to get, as I said before, is we're going to get this heavily detuned voice, and it's also going to mix in with the other saw. Sorry, not voice. This heavily detuned super saw, and it's also going to mix in, as you can see, it's jumping around here with this just basic saw here. Let's smooth it out a bit as well, so it's not as jolty, if that's the best word to use. Move a bit of jitter to it. I think the random is probably not what I'm looking for. I think it's a bit too much. Let's try, instead, we'll use another function. So just come to here, we'll go function, and we'll do something a bit more subtle. Let's just do like a sine, I think. Let's just use this. Slow the rate down. And we'll map this to the mix. Let's turn the amount up. Where do we want it to go? Sorry, turn it off this and turn it on to run mode so it plays through. Let's bring that down a bit. It's too much over to that oscillator 2 mix for what I'm liking. Now I'm going to turn this LFO off, or turn it down a bit. I'm going to turn this function down a bit as well. This one jumps up a bit too high, I think, for the filter. And then I'd bring the filter center point off up a bit more. Right, okay. Another thing we could possibly do is we could try playing around with the detune amount. Let's try that. Let's add a bit more reverb as well. Make the decay a bit longer. So let's drag this one over to the detune amount as well, just a small amount. I'm actually going to change this one though, because what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at the way it's going from mix to mix. Sorry, from oscillator 1 to oscillator 2, not mix to mix. As it's going from oscillator 1 to 2. But this is following the same. So what I'm wanting it to do as it comes back to oscillator 1, I'm wanting the detune amount to be different each time. So I might make that one a bit more random instead. So let's turn this one off and let's go to the random on this instead. So now this is going to be more random. But that's way too much, so I don't want it to be that drastic. Just a small amount. Gonna add a bit of LFO to the panning. Let's turn the treble up a little bit. Maybe we could add a bit of chorus. Nah, I don't want the chorus happening. Let's try adding some modulation to the envelope amount. So this is mapped to the cutoff. I'm running out of modulation sources here. This one is going to the oscillator 1 balance. Okay. Let's try the random. Sounding nice, got lots of randomness going to it. Let's try bandpass filter instead, see what that sounds like. Now what I'm going to do is, because when this filter is jumping up and opening, I want the delay feedback to be longer, so that when that opens up, those more opened up hits are sort of delaying for a longer period of time. So I'm going to try this. So you can hear when the filter opens up, the feedback on the delay is catching that opened up filter, and it's continuing on whilst it's then closed again. It's just sort of giving that high end, rather than it going up and then coming down and stopping instantly. Well, not instantly, because there's a bit of delay on there, but rather than those higher frequencies just coming down and it's sounding quite jolty in a way. If I up the feedback on the delay when it opens, those higher notes, or the more filter opened notes, will continue to play on top and sort of give it a bit more depth. But I am going to low cut some of that a little bit more, I think. Feedback probably doesn't need to be as much, but play around with it. Obviously, this isn't in any context right now, so yeah, let's have a look at the stereo width. Another thing we could do with the filter is we could use the key follow as well. Have a touch of that. Right, okay, let's try a different type of sound. I'm quite liking this one. Okay, so let's have a little play around with this bit of MIDI here. I've just got this little sort of like pluck melody sort of thing. Right, okay, so let's make something sort of plucky. As I say, if you are looking for presets for this, there's 2 volumes so far. I'm currently working on volume 3, so I'll leave a link in the description below if you're looking for some sort of new inspiration from sound banks and stuff like that. Okay, let's get started. So let's have a little look. Let's bring this filter cutoff down. I'm going to go with the super saw. Let's actually change this. Let's try the sawtooth. So we can change the shape of it here. Want something a bit sort of like euphoric. Right, let's bring this down, this filter envelope. Let's add a bit of reverb to it. Right, bring this envelope up again a little bit. Let's add a bit of ping pong delay. Add a bit of treble to it. This synth's so great. It's just straight away, you get such a nice sound out of it. Have a bit of key follow in there. We could add a bit of velocity as well to the filter. So if I come over here and just dial up the velocity a bit on there and just randomize all the notes a little bit. Nice. Bring the sustain down on the amp envelope. So I'm going to bring that down. It's just making it a little bit too random. I'll get a bit of movement from the LFO instead, I think. Just bring this resonance down a little bit. I think I'll dial the envelope up a little bit as well to open up that filter a little bit more. Try a bit of chorus. Let's turn up the decay a bit more on this reverb so it sounds a little bit bigger. Nice, solid, rich sounding pluck. Anything else we can sort of do to it? I can have a bit of play around with the panning, I guess, on the LFO. Okay, let's have a little look at some of the effects. Try adding, say, a little bit of bit crusher to it, maybe. Nah, it sounds better without it on. Yeah, I quite like this pluck as it is. It doesn't always need to be crazy modulation going on, especially with a pluck like this. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that pluck the way it is. I think I'll leave it there. So, as I say, really nice synth. Be sure to check out the sound banks. I'll probably do some more videos like this on some other sounds. I think I'll leave it there for today. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. As I say, hit that subscribe and notification bell if you're wanting to see more videos like this. And there is other videos on the channel as well. Some more sound design tutorials on it as well. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one.